Attorney Jerry Edwin contends that mentally ill offenders have not been a priority over the years.
To say the least, it's an appalling state of affairs. The authorities, when I say the authorities, I'm not referring to the present government, so not this government, but all governments, the prior one, have not seen it a priority to treat with mental illness as it is. It's a disease, and persons commit offenses should never, ever be placed in a general security facility. The judge has talked about this forever, and it falls on deaf ears.
Edwin expressed this view on the heels of the closure of the April Assizes on Monday, which revealed that there are currently 34 mentally ill inmates receiving treatment at the Richmond Hill prison.
Believe me, I am not blaming my good friend, Minister Joseph, because she has inherited these problems. But for some reason, courts and the treatment of mentally infirm persons are not a priority. How then can we achieve justice?
Meanwhile, clinical psychologist Dr. Augustine Panchu says mentally ill persons deserve a different kind of treatment from general inmates, but not necessarily at a different correctional facility. He noted that the Richmond Hill prison is the country's lone correctional facility for all criminals except juvenile offenders who are housed at the Grand Bacolet Rehabilitation Center.
So the question begs, therefore, do we need to look again at our correctional facilities? Do we need to create a wing or a separate facility for persons suffering with mental illness? Maybe the current construct is the correct place for most, and I'm saying most, I can't give you a percentage, but most of our prisoners. When you look at the statistics of the population that are currently in prison, I can guarantee you that most of our persons housed at Richmond Hill are suffering from one form of mental illness or another.
Dr. Panchu said it is not necessarily the facility where mentally challenged are housed, but the rehabilitative treatment they receive that will really make the difference.
As separate treatments, people can be housed in the same facility, but they can be housed in different wings, different blocks, and the treatment can be varied to suit the population.
Grenada developed a draft mental health policy and plan in 2006 and revised its Mental Health Act in 2008. The policy is guided by 7 principles: equity and accessibility, human rights, evidence-based care, quality services, integration, community involvement and participation, and cultural sensitivity. Last October, Health Minister Senator Jonathan Lacrette said the government has undertaken a review of the draft mental health legislation with a view to making amendments that will speak to principles that will drive the provision of mental health services on the island. For GBN News, I'm Nisha Paul.